Hey, what's going on? This is another episode of the reporter vlog for September 18th, 2024 on a Wednesday afternoon. Gonna try to get a double header and a single in today. Um, gonna try to get a double header and a single in today. One of these days I'm gonna share my screen, just switch it up a little bit, but not today. First one of the double header, at least. I guess you can fall in the category of that's plain old stupid. Oh man, or you could say like it's greed will make you foolish. All right, brought you by WGRB. Give my credits. Publisher Krista Goodner. On September 17th, 2024, updated 6 hours ago uh, on that day, I guess. Okay. Charlestown man accused of stealing copper from the LG&E power station and causing a brief outage for several businesses last week was arrested Monday by Middletown police. Power outage happened after an explosion in the early morning hours of September 11th after 47-year-old Daniel Tenney allegedly tampered with the LG&E equipment while stealing copper from from a power station located in the 1100 block of North Pope Lake Road in Middletown. Explosion was heard throughout the area by people like Carol Poole, who lives down the street from the substation. I was in dead sleep, and I'm hearing impaired, and so I didn't have my hearing aids in. Poole said. And all of a sudden, I just woke up, and I was like, "What was going on?" She said the explosion shook the neighborhood. Another neighbor down the street, he came out on his driveway and says he thought a house had blown up. According to the arrest citation, the deaths from the location have been ongoing, and the power station has been assessed by cutting fences and taking copper wire and metals for an extended period of time. Police said Tenney admitted to entering a fenced LG&E area that contains key infrastructure assets and damaging property as he removed copper off several occasions. Surveillance video also showed Tenney's '03 Ford Explorer at the property multiple times. The LG spokesperson originally blamed the September 11th power outage on equipment malfunction. Police said Tenney had been selling the copper at a local scrapyard since uh, August 15th. Tenney was arrested on a bench warrant on September 15th, booked into Louisville Metro Corrections. He is facing several charges, including theft, unlawful taking, criminal mischief, trespass of key infrastructure assets, and committing an unlawful act relating to acquiring metals causing injury to property. Then he pleaded not guilty during a court appearance Tuesday morning. He requested a public defender, and the judge set his bond at $50,000 full cash. Then next court appearance is scheduled for September 19th. LG&E has since reinforced the security at several of its sites, but the damage has been from this case alone could take months to fully repair. Man. Basically, this is just a foolish, foolish thing for profit. Here you are going to go through that much trouble, steal the copper, and try to flip it for a profit to a scrapyard place. Dang, money is not that important. Buddy, what if you are willing to go into a LG&E place, fight electricity, and risk yourself for being, as far as being fried to death for copper that you are not going to keep yourself, that you are going to flip for a profit, you got a problem. You got a problem, a big problem. I, they used to do that though back when I went to Bridget Smith. They used to come by and steal the copper out of the light posts. They used to find a copper boy and cut it in this jacket. But this is just straight up foolishness, no wisdom whatsoever. And once again, money is not worth dying over. But some people can't see that. All they see is either getting a profit or flipping something that they're not going to keep whatsoever for a profit. This has to be the most go down as one of many. As far as the copper death stories, um, and don't care who it hurts. Don't care about damages. Don't care about power outages to everybody else. It's all about flipping them, making them green. Shoot, selfishness make you stupid. It really does. Make you stupid. Greed makes you stupid. And you're willing to go into the LG&E, into their backyard, so to speak, and wreck everything they have, wreck their property just to get for some stupid copper wiring that you're going to try to flip to make a profit. Man, this guy isn't exactly struggling because he is driving an old three, well, an old three car. You got a car. I can see if you're on foot, which lets me know that you got a job to pay for that car. So, but it's all about greed. That's what it's all about. All about greed. Foolish greed. Foolish greed. Well, I'm glad to get them. You know, there's many out there waiting for their chance jack that copper, which is pretty much you can say the equivalent of gold these days, or at least in these parts. Because, like I said, somebody jacked the copper where we worked at one time, and it was that foolishness. That foolishness. But that's going to do it for this story. Time to move on to the next. Uh, a heavyweight one. Well, which is which is saying something. All right. Okay. New York Times. John Combs indicted for charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. Okay. Okay. Sean Combs is denied bail on sex trafficking and racketeering. To give my credits definitely for this heavyweight story. The New York Times, like I said before, publisher by Ben Cisario, and Julia Jacobs, September 17th, 2024. Sean Combs, the embattled music mogul, was denied bail on Tuesday after pleading not guilty to charges of sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation and to engage in prostitution. In federal indictment unsealed on Tuesday, Mr. Combs, 54, was described as the boss of the year-long criminal enterprise that threatened to abuse women, coercing them to participate against their will in drug-fueled orgies with male prostitutes and threatening them with violence or the loss of financial support if they refused. 14-page indictment against Mr. Combs, a producer, recorded executive, and a performer who is also known as P. Diddy and Puff Daddy, came a day after he was arrested in a Manhattan hotel room, following an investigation that has been active since at least earlier this year. Prosecutors said Mr. Combs and his employees engaged in kidnapping, forced labor, arson, and bribery, and kept firearms at the ready. In asking a magistrate to deny Mr. Combs' request to be released on bail, prosecutors argued that he was a threat to the community. One of the prosecutors, Emily A. Johnson, called him a serial abuser and a serial obstructor. Said his wealth would make it easy for him to escape undetected. He noted that after Mr. Combs was arrested, law enforcement found what they suspected had been narcotics in his hotel room in the form of pink powder. Woo. Mr. Combs' lawyers suggested a $50 million bond, but Judge Robin J.F. Tarnowski denied their request, citing Mr. Combs' anger issues and history of substance abuse, and ordered Mr. Combs to detain while he awaits trial. My concern, the judge said, is that this is a crime that happens behind closed doors. And Mr. Combs walked out of the courtroom. He looked toward his supporters in the room, including his three adult sons, and put his hands on his heart. That's how the courtroom Mark Agonifalo, one of Mr. Combs' lawyers, said they would appeal the denial bail and added, "We believe in him wholeheartedly." During the hearing, Mr. Nifalo began to mount Mr. Combs' defense against the indictments, asserting that the sex trafficking charge, which involves Mr. Combs' former girlfriend Cassandra Ventura, was based on consensual sex over the 10-year relationship. They are coming into this man's bedroom, Mr. Agonifalo said of the government's case. The racketeering charges carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, and a sex trafficking conviction would carry a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years. The charges are the stunning reputation of Mr. Combs' long-standing public image. He was one of the most influential figures in the spread of hip-hop as a global commercial force, produced era for defining hits for stars like the Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, and build a business empire based on largely of his ravish, street-smart personal brand. Those include the Sean John fashion line in partnership with the liquor giant Diageo that over the years earned him more than $1 billion. Although he has long been trailed by accusations of violence, he largely unscathed until the series of civil lawsuits over the past years accused him of sexual assault. After allegations of sexual misconduct, his business empire began to crumble as the federal investigation swirled around him. The indictment, which was filed with the court last week and unsealed in Tuesdays includes graphic descriptions of what it says in Mr. Combs called freak offs. How they orchestrated performances of sexual activity in hotels and other locations that were fueled by drugs and could go on for days. At these events, the government says women were powered with the plied with drugs to keep them obedient and coerced to participate in sex with prostitutes. Those coerced to participate in orgies typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use, according to the indictment. Ms. Goldman would watch these events sometimes while dang, in recorded video. Uh, According to the government, Mr. Combs used the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating recordings that he made during the freakouts as collateral to ensure the continued obedience and silence of the victims. Prosecutors asserted that the women believed they could not refuse his demands without physical, emotional abuse, or without fearing that their financial or job security would be put at risk. They alleged Mr. Combs maintained control of women by tracking their location, dictating their appearance, monitoring their medical information, and supplying them with drugs. No victims are named in the indictment, and the government sex traffic count mentions only an anonymous victim one. But the descriptions of the events mirror accusations made by the lawsuit last year by Mr. Ventura, Mr. Combs' former girlfriend and an artist signed to his record label, Bad Boy under the name Cassie. Ms. Ventura settled her lawsuit, which was filed in November. After just one day, with Mr. Combs denying any wrongdoing, but the indictment describes orgies in similar terms to Mr. Ventura's suit, saying they are involved in copious amounts of drugs and other supplies. As part of the government argument, Mr. Combs should be denied bail. Prosecutors accused him of obstructing justice after Mr. Ventura's lawsuit. They wrote in court papers that he and his associates reached out to potential victims and witnesses to feed them false narratives, including them by making several calls to someone's prosecutors described as a victim of his sexual abuse. Let's repeat that again. As part of the government argument that Mr. Combs should be denied bail, prosecutors accused him of obstructing justice after Mr. Ventura's lawsuit. They wrote in court papers that he and his associates reached out to potential victims and witnesses to feed them false narratives, including by making several calls to someone's prosecutors described as a victim of his sexual abuse. Mm. During the calls, defendants repeatedly asked for the victim's support and friendship. The attempted to convince the victim that she had willingly engaged in acts of constituting sexual abuse. Prosecutors wrote in court papers. When federal agents raided Mr. Combs' home in Los Angeles and Miami Beach in March, the indictment said law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. It was a Miami Beach that the agent found 9 AR-15 style weapons, 6 with several numbers enacted, and three with them defaced. The arrest of Mr. Combs makes him the highest profile figure in music world to face criminal charges for sexual misconduct since R. Kelly. The R&B singer was sentenced in 2022 to more than 30 years in prison for child sex crimes, sex trafficking, and racketeering. And months after Ms. Ventura sued Mr. Combs, five women filed lawsuits alleging sexual assault, and three others suits included accusations of sexual misconduct. His lawyers are fighting all of them in court. All it takes is one victim. After his arrest on Monday, lawyers for Mr. Combs said they were disappointed in the decision to prosecute him. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working up to uplift the black community. Mr. Combs' legal team said in a statement, he is an impact person, but he is not a criminal. In seeking Mr. Combs' release, his lawyers pointed to the fact that he had voluntarily traveled to New York, anticipated of an indictments, and offered him to turn himself into authorities at their request. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, his lawyers added, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. For more than a week, Mr. Combs had been staying at the Park Hyatt New York Hotel on West 57th Street, largely hunkering down while awaiting any news, but always drawing some attention on social media with a visit to Harlem when he was born. Where he was born. Speculation about a federal case against Mr. Combs has been building ever since the raids on his homes. Prosecutors have been sending subpoenas to witnesses for months. Lawyers to Ms. Ventura, Douglas H. Wigner declined to comment on the government's uh, indictment. Lawyers and other women have filed suits against Mr. Combs held the arrest. The big moving day for victims, but the arrest is only the beginning, said Lisa Bloom, who's a client singer Don Richard, a former member of two musical groups that were assembled by Mr. Combs, filed suit against last week. At a news conference in Manhattan after the indictment was unsealed, Damian Williams, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, encouraged anyone with any information to come forward. His office is determined to investigate and prosecute anyone who engages in sex trafficking by Mr. Williams. He said, no matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be, you better believe it. Boy. And, but he's an upstanding citizen and a good family man. Man, I swear these defense attorneys, boy, they. I wonder if they want to. Sometimes I wonder, do they really want to laugh after the seeing what the prosecutor, their defense, and all these allegations against their defendant. Wonder if they really want to laugh after after they say garbage like that. Can't be both. Can't be a good family guy, a good whatever, building an empire. And that black community garbage, that's even woo. Shoot. That's all I gotta say on that comment. Basically, the monster has been exposed. The clock was ticking on him, like they said in the article. When they raided his home in Miami. Let me see. See. Yeah, here it is. When federal agents raided Mr. Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami Beach in March, the indictment said that law enforcement seized various freak-out supplies, including narcotics, more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil, and such and such and such and such. And AR-15 style weapons. So it lets you know what was about ready to happen. They've been building the case for to finally expose this monster for a while, passing out subpoenas like tracks in the street, like church tracks in the street, you know. So they've been ready for it. It's pretty much Christmas morning for the FBI and law enforcement. But basically, but like I said, basically this monster has been exposed. It was really exposed the other day when they read the various items they found in the in the report from a report, and but I'm glad to hear it. It really is. It was time. It was time. Uh, Pretty much, he was. And people been saying how he was on YouTube, pretty much bring to light what has already been said. Really, in other words, yeah, from the from YouTube to TikTok, all the videos, all the TikTok videos. And this basically that's what this from this article. This basically that's brings it to the light what this guy's pretty much all about. He's been hiding behind his money for so long. That's the reason why he's been getting away with it, and until now, until now, yeah, and that's in the last in the last sentence of this article pretty much tells the story. Pretty much tells the truth to the T. Mr. Williams said, "No matter how powerful or wealthy or famous you may be," and that's exactly right. Some of these celebrities think they can hide behind the riches and their fame, and to get away with anything, and not even worry about the consequences. And if and that's what like is if R. Kelly can go down, P Diddy you can go down too. Whatever you are, Combs, whatever. If R. Kelly, if they can finally get R. Kelly, they're gonna get you too. As rightfully they should, because he's been getting away with it for so long. Same way with R. Kelly. They've been dropping hints, even though they're not really hints in their songs, and eventually, two and two eventually gonna tell you the honest truth and make you want to do something. And that's what they did with R. Kelly. That's why he's still behind bars after for 30 years, spending his time. You know, same way with P. Diddy now, and the same way with Sean Combs now. Now he's gonna have to pay. It just catches up to you. All the more for in commercials, doing his thing, running the limelight, doing his thing behind the limelight. Huh? Oh, okay. Just a minute. Uh, Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, maybe like yeah. All right, let's finish this up. Yeah. I'm back to help my mother. Um, like I said, basically, this is uh, pretty much a good day for law enforcement. Uh, Fortunate victims, and there's I guess a, a good day for the victims. Seeing this guy get what he deserves, and this guy pay the crime, pay the price for his crimes, you know. Because it's like I said, eventually catches up to you. Your money doesn't mean a thing. Your fame doesn't mean a thing. Uh, Wrong is still wrong, and eventually the wrong that we do will eventually catch up out of breath. But it will get there. It will get there. But I don't have the exit stage left on this one. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this heavyweight story. And I mean, this is a heavyweight one. He pretty much goes. I guess you say he's second most influential music mogul or whatever you want to call him, right behind R. Kelly, to ever go down as far as the crimes that he did. But drop a comment on what you think about this monster going down. Uh, because you can't humanize what he's done. That's the crazy thing about defense attorneys. They love to try to make him out to be a perfect citizen, a perfect human being. But when when it's all said and done, you can't ignore what he has done. Can't ignore what he has done because the facts are still the facts. The facts were read out the other day by the spokesperson for the FBI. But let me get on off here. I'm behind already. Or that's my other job. Uh, y'all have a good one. This is another episode of the Reporter Vlog for September 18th, 2024 on a Wednesday. Y'all have a good one. Like I said, I'm gone.